God loves you with an everlasting love, and He wants you to know it deeply. What if He is sending you regular love notes? Would you like to be able to see them and save them to read over and over again? Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I help women who love Jesus find healing and freedom after the trauma of abuse or betrayal. Let's get started. You probably know what a trigger is. Today, let's talk about glimmers. Some people say glimmers are the opposite of a trigger. While a trigger is a reminder and something that stirs up in us something that happened before that was some sort of a trauma, anything associated with those can stir up that feeling that, oh no, it's happening again, and our body reacts just like it did when it happened the first time, or maybe just like we wish it did the way that it happened the first time. Well, a glimmer is kind of similar to a trigger, but also kind of opposite of a trigger. A glimmer is a reminder or a recalling or a moment when we felt especially safe and loved and felt a sense of presence. So a glimmer would be an experience that brought positive, warm, safe memories. And sometimes it's a fresh experience itself. Maybe you've heard it said that we don't necessarily learn from the things that we experience in life. We learn from reflecting on those experiences. And so to go deeper with the glimmer, to take it deeper and give it more meaning and give us something to hold on to, it's important that we reflect on these glimmers. And a glimmer can be something as simple as a cat sitting in your lap purring and you're petting it and it's warm. It can be sitting by a fire in a wood stove or singing songs in a fire pit. It can be hiking through the woods and seeing a squirrel run up a tree. It could be watching the sky, watching a sunset, or watching the sky during a storm. It could be someone coming up and giving us a hug. There's lots of different kinds of glimmers, and oftentimes when God sends us a glimmer or a love note, like I like to think about, it's personal for us. And the more that we practice seeing them and reflecting on them, the more that we notice them. The first thing about reflecting on a glimmer is to get one. And if you're like me, you don't always remember them when you're ready to sit down and think about them. They don't necessarily come readily to mind. So I remember I need to ground and get calm so I'm in the right space in my brain for connecting. If I'm in the lower part of my brain, or if I'm stressed, or if I'm operating in survival mode or the next level up, I find it difficult to think about a glimmer. But when I'm calmed myself down and I'm regulated and I'm connected with God, which becomes a discipline over time and you do it more and more naturally, it's a more surrender thing. When you walk in that place of connection with God, then you can just ask Him, what moment do you want me to reflect on? What do you want me to consider in this time? And sometimes when I do that with other women, I'll have something in mind that I'm thinking of, and God will bring to mind something that's like, oh, I forgot about that. So I like to make it a point to not just reflect on the glimmers that I remember, but also ask God to give me the glimmer that He wants me to have or hold or really dig into that day. And then once I've done that, I'll ponder that and I'll sit in that moment and I'll feel the feelings that come along with it. I'll feel and name the emotions associated with that. Maybe I felt safe, or I felt calm, or I felt warm, or I felt loved or hugged or appreciated or validated, or there's all kinds of nice feelings that we can have around glimmers. And so I'll reflect on those and think about that. But I'll also think about the actual moment itself and what did I see in that moment? What did I hear in that moment? What did I feel? Like, did I feel the warmth of the sunshine in that moment? Or maybe I felt the cool of a breeze on my face, or maybe I felt my feet in the sand or the leaves or the mud or something else. So think about those physical feelings. And also, was there anything associated with that moment about taste? Any taste associated, or any smell associated? So I'll try to bring all of those things in and just really cement the whole picture of what was going on in my mind, and just enjoy that moment. And then we'll come back out of that. Usually I'm doing this together in a group, but you can do it individually, and then you can journal about it. Usually I'm doing this in a group, and we'll then come back from that time of reflection and share with one another what our glimmer was, which I think is always really kind of special and sweet about it, is then we get to interact and we get to find connection there. So you have connection with yourself because you've self-regulated, connection with God, and connection with others. It's a beautiful opportunity to practice all three. If you want, you can just journal for yourself, or you can share with a friend. I have made a video that walks you through the whole process, so you're not trying to remember what you're doing and watching this, and also trying to do that, where you can just kind of focus, and I'll talk you through the whole process. I'll put the link to it up here, so you can go back to that video and walk through the process. And then I would love it if in that video or this one, you comment and share your glimmer. Or if you would share the videos with a friend, and then get together and share your glimmers with one another. That can be a really sweet time. I hope that you'll find them to be a blessing and something that will bring joy. A glimmer isn't something that you do just once. Glimmers are all over the place. God is regularly sending selfies and smiling on you and wanting to send you little love notes. And the more we process through these glimmers and reflect on them, the more we'll see them, the more we'll process them, the more our brain will be rewired and just shifted to a whole different kind of a view. And it's beauty. I think the beauty of it is, it's not that we set out trying to rewire our brain. It's that we set out just to kind of notice things differently, or reflect on something and think about it in a different way. And that leads, over time, leads to the brain rewiring that helps with our healing as we move forward, and deepens our connection to ourselves and to God. And when we practice it with others, with other people too, we find our safe community. I'm so glad that you joined me. Thank you for sharing your time with me. And let me see, I want to just show you. Oh my goodness, before I came out here to video, there were a whole bunch of puffy clouds over there. And then when I came out, most of the puffy clouds were gone, and there were just a couple of little tiny ones. But now there are more clouds coming in for the evening. And where I'm looking, you can see even more clouds coming in as the sun is starting to go down. So I'm gonna just share that with you, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Write it to journal to share. Somebody just drove by and looked while I was videoing, probably wondering why I'm standing here talking to my phone on a tripod. We do not care.